we sang, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. But first we told the story about it. It's one of my favorite stories about this man and everything that he went through, and that he... So this is what we did. We would go to a house. We went to House of Members, and then we went to House of our Investigators too. But we'd sit down and we'd say the story, and we'd have everyone close their eyes. We'd say we're going to give them a surprise, and then we'd sing. And we would sit down and we'd say, okay, well, this is what happened. He had lost his wife, and his son was in the hospital. It was during the Civil War, and his son was in the hospital, and he says the words, that the evil is there and that it will prevail. And then he says the words, then peal the bells more loud and deep, God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. Those are the words he heard. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. That's what it says in the song. With peace on earth, goodwill to men. And he wrote this song thinking of his son as he was going to get him from the hospital, and the war hospital. And it was Christmas time, and he was thinking, how could this happen on Christmas? And then he realized that the Lord loved him. He felt that love for him. And we sang it in Spanish and in English. We sang a couple verses. We sang all 4 verses, I think, and we sang them in Spanish and English. And I had just gotten to my mission. I had been in the mission for about a month, almost 2 months at that time. And we were singing. I remember we got to one house of one member, and their daughter was on a mission, actually. And we were singing, and we told them to close their eyes, and I think it was the first one that we went to, and it was and there in Mexico, they celebrate more the 24th than they do the 25th. And then they celebrate even more el Día de los Reyes Magos, el Día de los Magos, creo. But it's the Wise Men's Day, and it's in January, and so they celebrate that day even more, where they whatever. But we sat down and we did this with them, and we were singing. And I remember I looked at my companion, and there's just tears rolling down her face, and I was looking around the room as I was singing. I was super nervous. It was the first house that we went to, and I looked at the brother there, the dad there, and his eyes were closed, and he was just crying. And we just testified to them after we ended that the Lord lives, that he lives, that he was born, that the Savior was born, and that he died, and that he rose again. And I remember the feeling that I felt when I left. And I looked at my companion, and I was like, that was awesome. This is all we're doing today. I don't want to do anything else. This is it. This is what I want to do today. That was the best feeling I had ever had. I was actually lucky enough to have 2 Christmases on my mission, and I remember both of them, but the first one was my favorite. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I'm so grateful for her, if she sees this, Hermana Peinado, who taught me those things and the importance of those things. And I'm so grateful for that day, for that Christmas day that completely changed me. completely.